from a certain corner. They shoot at me. I think the bullet passed, I don't know, just I felt like this, you know.
Father Sebastiano D'Ambra's story and that of the Silsilah Dialogue Movement starts at a time of great unrest in southern Mindanao, Philippines. From his experience as a negotiator during the conflict arose the conviction to heal and unite through dialogue.
I said to myself, I have to do this to help people here, Muslim, Christian, to build trust, peace, confidence.
The search for a common spiritual ground where both Muslims and Christians could connect was both a wonder and a revelation to the local community.
In that meeting, I was surprised. There were Muslims and Christians together.
Father Sebastiano D'Ambra, he wants that how Christian to become a better Christian and how Muslim to become a better Muslim.
He introduced what Silsilah Dialogue Movement is all about, and I've learned the spirituality behind the movement, and from there on I got hooked.
From a humble hut to a vast center for dialogue that enriches thousands of people every year, the Silsilah Dialogue Movement has become a lasting instrument for peace in the Philippines.
I came from Sicily. My house was near the sea. The waves have some spiritual message, you know. Sometimes I know the sea is very calm, sometimes it's rough. The sea can remind us that there is another horizon. We have to move from one horizon to another horizon. This is life. I never thought to reach to this age or this place or to do what I'm doing, but it's part of my understanding, of course, in my prayer, in my trust in the Lord, moving through one horizon to another horizon.
The first horizon Father Sebastiano D'Ambra encountered was to experience interreligious dialogue far away from his native Italy. After joining the Pontifical Institute for Foreign Missions, PIME, Father Sebastiano learned there were many negative perceptions of people from opposing religions which needed mending. He was assigned to the Philippines island of Mindanao, home to a large Muslim population, arriving there in February 1977.
In my first mission, it was Siocon, Zamboanga del Norte, in Mindanao. I start to give attention, first of all, to the Subanon. These are indigenous people. And after I saw the great need to be closer to the Muslim, at that time it was the MNLF war.
The country had fallen under martial law and the dictatorship of President Ferdinand Marcos. Human rights violations were increasing. Several PIME missionaries had been deported. The political situation was further complicated by a military conflict between the federal government and the Moro National Liberation Front, the MNLF, which sought independence. In the face of great violence and discrimination, Father Sebastiano became a bridge between opposing sides. He named his humble nipa hut in the village where he lived the Muslim Christian Brotherhood.
All the neighbors were Muslim, and children are always around with a lot of curiosity. And one day I was in the room just for moments of prayer. When I went out, one little girl said, "Father, what you have done inside?" And I said, "I was praying." And this girl is looking at me and say, "Father, also the Christian pray?" I was touched because poor girl, she has an understanding of the Christian, like the military, those who kill the Muslim. The immersion in the Muslim community was, first of all, a kind of personal transformation. I came up with this expression that became now a slogan, our motto, our point of reference. Dialogue starts from God and brings people back to God.
Thanks to the respect garnered from the Muslim community, Father Sebastiano was asked by the MNLF rebels to negotiate their surrender, for which the government would grant the rebels amnesty. This was a time of heavy military operations in different parts of Mindanao, resulting in major casualties from both the civilian and the armed groups. For more than a year, starting in August of 1979, Father Sebastiano met with rebel and military groups.
I said to myself, I have to do this. It was a time of crisis. I have to help people here, Muslim, Christian, to build trust, peace, confidence. One time I had a very big problem. The military in some way betrayed us and we were about to have an encounter. The commander, he said, Father, you go. And I said, no, I've been with you for 1 week. I want to stay here. He said, okay, Father, be sure that if they attack us, we will defend you. You will be the last to die, no? These words of a commander who had done so many things in that line of violence touched my heart. I said, look, in the deeper part of the heart of each person, there is always a corner of goodness. We have to reach to that level.
In 1981, Father Sebastiano's role as negotiator came to an abrupt end. An attempt was made on his life by the military, in which his close friend, Boy de Guzman, was killed. Afraid for his safety, the PIMA mission superiors asked Father Sebastiano return to Italy. From 1981 to 1983, he deepened his knowledge of Islam at the Pontifical Institute for Arabic and Islamic Studies in Rome. Those years would prove providential to his future mission in the Philippines.
I could decide to stay in Italy and stop with this experience, but I was challenged to do more. For me, it was a kind of discovering because although I had a certain understanding of Islam, but not so much, I discovered that in Islam there are also these people who are considered the spiritual, the mystics, who have a deeper faith, and they talk about Silsila means literally chain or link to their master and the master link to God. I said if each one of us are linked, we belong to the same family.
In this concept of Silsila, Father Sebastiano found the spiritual foundation for interreligious dialogue. Upon his return to Zamboanga in 1983, he brought Muslim and Christian friends together in the spirit of one family. He wanted people of different religions to unite and experience together the love of God for all humanity.
In that meeting, I was surprised. There were Muslims and Christians together. And then he presented his idea of forming Muslims and Christians together and to call it Silsila. People who will be together in promoting dialogue is the way to peace.
At that time, there was some effort, but normally just to do activity together, Muslim, Christian, I said, cannot be like this. A dialogue has to have a spiritual foundation. If not, along the way will end.
In May